Thank you, Kim and Miss Pam. So delicious. Ah, good stuff. Hey, I'm dedicating this video here to another YouTube friend of mine, J Mac of Oregon. He lives up in Gladstone area. It's still Portland. You know, I mean, everybody says, oh, it's Wallerton, Beaverton, whatever. Yeah, no, that's all Portland. You know, don't argue with me. That's Portland. And don't argue with me about Bigfoot, okay? There ain't no Bigfoot. Okay, so anyway, this video is dedicated to J Mac. And I told him that I had some Bigfoot stories, and I plan on telling you my Bigfoot stories. A few years ago, well, no, let me go back a little bit further. This friend of mine that I want to tell you the story about, that was there, the witness, that they can vouch for it now, and he believes in Bigfoot, and he hunts with me. Okay? He believes in Bigfoot, but he also laughs at the story I'm going to tell you. But the funny thing is, I got to tell you the first story on this. This hunting partner that I got, he believes in Bigfoot, but he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe in God because he ain't seen him. There's no proof of him. There's no evidence. I mean, creation and nothing else. I mean, that's not evidence. That's not proof. But he can believe in Bigfoot. Now, that's something that, you know, first of all, Dave, if you're watching this, Gator Dave, well, he's not a YouTuber yet. I'm trying to get him started. If you're watching this, I mean, I just got to say, dude, you can believe in Bigfoot, but you can't believe in God. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, he can back up the story. He was there with me. I'm not going to tell the location of the story where it was at, because the gold mine operation is still in place. All I'm going to tell you is the Quartzville area, okay, in my neck of the woods. And I actually did a video on this before, and I called it Gold Gives You Brain Damage, is what I titled it, I believe, or something to that effect. But I want to tell that story again. Me and Gator Dave, we was up on hunting, and here was this gold claim. And we go on up there, and there's this old gentleman and his wife working the gold claim, and they wanted to know what we was doing there, and they knew it was hunting season. They was all cool. But you could tell that the guy was a little bit different. And he didn't like hunters being on his property. Well, it wasn't his property. It's government land. He just owns has the mineral rights to the claim. And he was kind of leery. But after a few times of going up there hunting, because it did have some good hunting potential, he got to opening up a little bit with us more and more and more. And he started telling us his Bigfoot stories. Now, this is the Bigfoot story that I got to tell you. We started going on up there, and he started, one of his biggest concerns was, if you see Bigfoot, please don't shoot him. That's why I don't like hunters here. I don't want somebody shooting Bigfoot. And this guy was dead serious. Please don't shoot Bigfoot. He's my friend. Well, that's where it started out at. And we're like, okay. But, each time we'd go back on in there, we'd chat with him a little bit more. And then he started showing us these pictures. Bigfoot was here this morning, and here I got these pictures. And he took some photographs of where the ground had been disturbed by something, but there was no footprint. Nah. The ground had been kicked up by something, but there was nothing on the ground anywhere that you could say, hey, here's a footprint of Bigfoot. No, there was nothing. But that's proof Bigfoot's been here. But then, to back up his story, he started telling us stories about how Bigfoot had come into his camp. And one night, him and his wife, after working out in the rivers out there, panning gold and stuff, they were sitting in the trailer, and they were having coffee and playing some cards. And Bigfoot walked up to their camp trailer and stuck his head right up to the window and was looking in while they was playing cards. And he looked like he wanted some of their coffee. So they actually invited Bigfoot into their trailer, and Bigfoot sat with them for several hours that night and drank coffee with them and played cards. And a few days later, the last thing that they seen of Bigfoot was he was going down the ridge. He was walking across the ridge up there, and it was Mr. Bigfoot, Mrs. Bigfoot, and Baby Bigfoot. They were walking down the ridge, and they looked down at him, and they seen the gold miners, my other friends. They seen him, and they waved like, "Goodbye, we're leaving." They waved at him because they were buddies. So now here's my Bigfoot story that I'm telling you. Every single Bigfoot story I've personally ever heard is a freaking nut job. Just like that. I'm sorry, folks, but Bigfoot is a nut job. I mean, you gotta want. I mean, people that can believe in Bigfoot, but they can't believe in God. I mean, I just can't grasp that. I'm sorry. Jeez. I just now I know a lot of my subscribers believe in Bigfoot, and people have their reasons for why they believe in Bigfoot. I have seen some unexplainable things in the wilderness. I will say that. Do I attribute them to Bigfoot? No. No, I attribute, well, I mean, as I'm growing, and we are always growing, whether we're in the city or we're in the country. You're always growing to your surroundings, and your surroundings are always changing. Always changing. Wildlife is always changing. The reactions to things. I mean, what worked for you for fishing 10 years ago is not working today for fishing. What worked for you 10 years ago for trapping, you've had to make some alternate changes. No matter what it is, for hunting, no matter what it is in life. If you're a city slicker and you're working in the city, what used to work in the city doesn't work anymore. Things are changing everywhere. And it doesn't matter if you're in the city or out in the country. Change happens. Things happen, and some of the stuff we just can't explain, whether we're in the city or not. There's stuff that does happen in the wilderness that I can't explain. Idaho hillbilly, he believes in Bigfoot. And I would never ridicule him for his belief in it, because he has his reasons for believing in it. But I have my reasons for not believing in it. There's no DNA ever found, period. I don't care what you say. No DNA has ever been found. No bones have ever been found. There's no trace of anything. And to this date, everything that has been in existence for proof that Bigfoot ever existed, everything that has been in existence long enough has been disproved that it was a hoax. Everything that has been proved, all the original sightings that started all the Bigfoot movement, that came out, it was a hoax. It was a person dressed up in a suit. Down there, what was that, in California? I don't remember where the area was. There's been so many hoaxes of it that even if Bigfoot was true, the hoaxes just disprove it. Now, quite honestly, there's never been anything that should say that we prove it, that it's there. There's absolutely nothing. I know that there's several states that are involved in trying to get into this Bigfoot movement and make their state resemble, hey, we're the Bigfoot state. You know, I know there's people that's backed up in that. But keep this in mind. The Bigfoot movement is no longer, and it used to be just private little people. If I believed in Bigfoot, it would be just a private individual like me on my own, and other people on their own telling their stories. But today it is no longer private people telling their stories. It's the corporate world taking advantage of the world Bigfoot. Are you going to let them do that, folks? Just like the word organic. Y'all, anybody that watches my videos know that I love to garden. I mean, I'm not a successful gardening channel and stuff, and I don't want to be. I mean, I make my channel just doing the stuff that I want to do. It's what I do, and I'm just having fun. That's what I want to do with life. I'll never be successful with my gardening. I get that, no problem. But you know what? I like doing my gardening videos. I like showing my garden what I'm doing. But what is organic? I will not ever portray my garden as organic. Now, I don't go down there and buy the pesticides and all the different stuff that, the artificial fertilizers. I don't do any of that. My garden is all natural. I call my garden an all natural. I refuse to insult my garden with the words organic. So, if you do believe in Bigfoot, stop using that word, because you know what? The corporate world has taken over that name, Bigfoot. Stop using it. They've got it. You can't stop the corporate world. You can't. I'm sorry. I wish we could. But if a Bigfoot really did exist, if these people are really telling the true story, and they're not just trying to get some YouTube fame or something else, if Bigfoot really did exist, they wouldn't be interested in the corporate sponsorship and all that stuff. But hey, why do you think it is that one channel offers like $1 million or $10 million for proof that Bigfoot exists, and nobody's ever collected that deal, the funds on it? By the way, if anybody could prove that Bigfoot exists, they would be glad to part with that money, because they would make a whole lot more money on it. But the fact is, nobody has collected that $1 million. Why is that? Because nobody has ever been able to prove that Bigfoot exists. Oh, people go on out there and they'll see some bear track in the wilderness, and they'll take a casting of a bear track that's been disturbed by some wild turkey or something. They'll change it around a little bit, and some feathers got dropped on into it, and a little bit of rabbit fur on in there, and they mix it all together, and they come up with some weird, exotic story. Yeah, this stuff's on out there. But you know what? If you want to believe in something, then you're going to believe it. That's plain and simple. If you want to believe in something, then that's what you're going to believe. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. That's what you're going to believe. It's what you want to believe. So I want you all to think about that. Do you want to train yourself to believe in the right things? The things that you really know you're right in? Stuff that really matters? Or do you want to train yourself to believe in some dream, something that you just want to exist, but something that doesn't matter? Or am I an idiot, and I've just had too much of this gift from Kim Phi and Miss Pam? Yeah, I might be an idiot, but there's no doubt that this is a wonderful gift, and I really enjoyed them being here. Y'all come back now, yeah. Bye.